What are confused dreams? It happens at times that the spirit has been working so much with intense interest in the physical world, and the desired body has become so stirred up that it refuses to leave the lower vehicles and withdraws only partially. Sometimes it happens when we become so involved in the material things of this world. So when we sleep, instead of the desired body withdrawing totally, it withdraws only partially, somehow still connected to the physical body. Then the connection between the perception centers of the desired body and the sense centers of the physical brain are partly separated. They are not fully separated. The spirit or the ego sees the sights and scenes of the desired world, which in themselves are extremely fantastic and illusory, and they are transmitted to the brain centers without being connected by reason. From this condition come along all the foolish and fantastic dreams which we have. It's all because the spirit has not fully withdrawn with the desired body and the mind. Let's share in this story. Some years gone by, a young man who did petty trading in Tema Community 1 market area told his colleagues in the morning that he had a terrible dream the previous night. What happened? In the dream, he saw that he was put in the morgue at a hospital. Everybody screamed on hearing this. He was told to be extra careful. But as the day wore on to a close, he, at about 4:30 p.m., asked his colleague to give him his bicycle to check up on a few things close by. His friend, of course, obliged. Just as he got onto the main road, an oncoming vehicle hit him. Instantly, his life ended. What do you say about this? We talk about meaningful dreams. It happens at times that when the spirit or the ego is altogether outside the dense body, that is, the spirit has come out fully with the mind and the desired body. It sees an event concerning itself about to materialize. For coming events cast their shadows, and before anything happens in the material world, it has already happened in the spiritual worlds. If, upon awakening from such an experience, the spirit or the ego succeeds in impressing the brain with what it has seen, we have a prophetic dream, which in due time will come true, or which the spirit, if its fate permits, may modify by a new action. For instance, if one of an accident, steps may be taken to counteract the impending calamity. But if it is a ripe destiny, that cannot be altered or changed. For ripe destiny, there is no way we can change it. You can only pray and give thanks to God for His will to be done. Unlike other forms of destiny that are changeable, with ripe destiny, it's not changeable. No matter what you do, it will come to pass. Let us look at the classification of dreams. There are nightmares. What are they? They are dreams that are bad, frightening, and unpleasant due to many factors such as bad habits, drug addiction, anger, alcoholism, sensuality, and spiritualism. Often, the person attracts horrible entities in the desired world. Generally, there is no harm in the desired world, but it takes spiritual maturity to subdue evil entities that take pleasure in harassing or frightening people. With love, they can be overcome. Let's look at prophetic dreams. This type of dream often reveals a future event and is popular in the religious circles. It is important to take notice of them, since often they come with a warning and the need to prepare to take action, if within control. Prophetic dreams may also reveal a new chapter in a person's life. Prepare yourself when you have such dreams. Let's look at informative dream. Where information is received about something, event, or somebody, we call it informative dream. It may contain messages about healing the sick or an answer to a problem. Many scientists experience this type of dream for their inventions. By this dream, dead relatives, friends, or others may convey message to the living. For example, information about a hidden family treasure, or secrets, or how to protect or advance the well-being of a person. How about recurring dreams? Dreams that recur. How about them? They are dreams that repeat themselves. The same places, events, things, and persons may appear. Often, the same information is repeated. They are dreams for which keeping a dream record book can reveal their true meaning, depending on what happens physically as you track them. How about progressive dreams? They are a type of dream whereby you wake up from your sleep and briefly do whatever you want to do, and when you go back to sleep, you continue with the same dream, especially from where you left off. It may also be that the same dream is continued at another time, not necessarily the same night. How about mutual dreams? What are they? This type of dream is shared by two or more people. You meet the person and both of you engage in some activities in the invisible world. On waking up, the person knows and admits that he or she met you while asleep and both of you conducted yourselves in this or that manner. Often, people who experience this type of dream are above ordinary level of spiritual development. It could be either positive or negative development, depending on their nature. How about dream and vision compared? Are there differences? Both dream and vision are experiences beyond the three-dimensional world. They are not things that can be experienced with our five senses. They are beyond that. They are experienced and peculiar to the individual. Often, the individual sleeps before having a dream. Vision is not so, but generally speaking, the individual does not fall asleep in vision. To a large extent, the organs for clairvoyance and clairaudience have been sensitized or developed for the person to have true vision or prophecy. Often, in dream state, the dense body is unconscious of the external environment because the spirit is out of the body. But for vision, the person is somehow conscious. That is to say, the spirit does not come out of the body. Let's look at some Bible references. In the Bible, dreams were used by God to fulfill his purposes, say to give prophecy, warning, or direction. In Genesis chapter 37 to 50, we have a situation where Joseph dreamed about his leadership over his brothers. This dream was fulfilled in Egypt when his brothers bowed to him without knowing that he was Joseph, their youngest brother, who they sold into slavery in his childhood. The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and chapter 4, where we have Daniel interpreting the dreams of King Nebuchadnezzar. And then also in Genesis chapter 41, where Pharaoh had a recurring and progressive dream which was interpreted by Joseph. And then in the New Testament, we have Matthew chapter 1, verse 19 to 21. Joseph, the father of Jesus, had a dream when he was considering putting Mary away. We read, "But after he had considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, 'Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins.'" And then in Matthew chapter 2, verse 13, after the wise men from the east visited the baby Joseph, Joseph had another dream. We read, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. Get up, he said. Take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, for Herod is going to search for the child to kill him. How do you remember your dream? What should you do in the effort to remember your dream? Let's talk about the higher realities beyond dreams. As civilization progresses and egoism becomes superseded by altruism, a different division of the vehicle is made. A part of the vital body composed of the two higher ethers, namely the light and the reflecting ethers, which are vehicles for sense perception and memory, they are taken along during night. Then the illusory stage of dreamland ceases, and the individual becomes, as it were, a creature of two existences. One lived out of the body in dreamland, where he or she comports himself and herself in a reasonable manner, using judgment concerning his or her own actions and those of other people whom he or she may meet. But since that individual has not learned to focus attention when living or entering the body, that person is not able at all times to accomplish the proper separation of his or her vehicles, nor bring back a reliable memory or picture of what has occurred. For the person to be conscious and live the body consciously, only one thing can make it happen, and that is initiation into the inner worlds. Only that can supply the necessary knowledge of how the individual can consciously come out of the body. Most humanity, most of us, we fall asleep without knowing how we fall asleep, unlike others. It is an inner experience. Initiation is an inner experience whereby the qualified individual is taught how to come out and re-enter into his or her body at will. It's not an outside ceremony. It is an inner experience. That is what we're talking about in terms of initiation.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all this.